Good morning, everyone. It's Mrs. Wenning, and I am so sorry I can't be with you guys today. This is one of my favorite activities of the year, and but I am with you in spirit, and of course, I've created this video for you so I can support you every step of the way through this activity. So today we're going to do an affinity mapping activity, and this is a 2-day activity. Today is day 1, and the first thing I want you to think about and just share with a partner, whoever's sitting next to you, take a second and think about what is the definition of affinity. Does anyone know? Look at the person next to you. Does anyone seem to know? What do you think? Okay. All right, so let's see what it means. What is the definition of affinity? Well, affinity is a similarity of characteristics suggesting a relationship. So it's a similarity of characteristics suggesting a relationship. And we're gonna do mapping with those elements in mind. Characteristics, relationships, and the similarities between and among them. All right, so we're going to today figure out sort of how all of our works fit together. How are they like puzzle pieces that fit together to form a greater understanding, a greater message, for those of us who are reading. So before we begin our actual activity, I'd like for you to take a look around your desk. You are in groups, obviously, and look at what's on the table. And with your group, predict what you think we're going to do during our affinity mapping activity today. What do you think? I want you to be prepared to share your prediction with the class. So I'm going to ask whoever is running this video to pause in just a second and let you make a prediction, and each group will share what they think we are going to do today during this affinity mapping activity. Go ahead and pause now. Okay, now that you have shared your predictions, I'm going to share with you the learning targets for today. Today's learning target is I can look for patterns and relationships among the different characters we've read about to better understand the common messages about human nature. So again, we're talking about looking for patterns and relationships among the different characters. We can also look for patterns and relationships among the different ideas and concepts. So today we're really going to focus in on characters. And again, everything comes back to understanding human nature. Tomorrow, you are going to take what you've done today and develop theme statements that will actually help you with your capstone essay. So our assignment today is very important to get you the foundation that you need to begin our capstone essay at the beginning of the period on Wednesday. And everything we do between now and then is going to build upon the last thing to get you to where you need to be to really do well on that capstone essay. All right, so we're ready for the steps. The first step today is, with your group, you're going to generate names on slips of paper of all the characters we have met over the course of this year. And so you see the slips of paper in front of you. Understand that each character needs his or her own slip of paper. If you're drawing a blank, go ahead and look up those character names using your computer. That's fine. We want to get those character names down on slips of paper. Again, one character name per one piece of paper. That is why there are so many at your desk or in your pod. So go ahead, when I say pause, whoever is running this, go ahead and pause for the next I don't know, 7 minutes or so, and see how many characters everyone can get. Again, we're looking for characters from Animal Farm, from Mouse, The Kite Runner, and A Thousand Splendid Suns. Those were the major fictional stories that we experienced this year. And so again, you are simply just writing down the characters. It's that easy. All right, go ahead and pause. Okay, so now that you have the character names down, you are going to go on to step 2. And in step 2, you want to stand up and spread all of your character names out on a flat surface so that all of your group members can see and touch the names. Okay, so you're going to stand up, you're going to spread all of those names out on a flat surface so that all of your group members can see and touch the name. Okay, once you've done that, you're ready for step 3. And in step 3, you're going to imagine that your group is responsible for creating a classification system for all of these characters. So you should have many, many characters spread out over your desks, and you want to create a classification system for all of these characters. And so you want to think about how would you group these characters together and why? What do certain characters from different novels have in common? Okay, so an example of this might be, for example, you might group Benjamin, the wise old donkey from Animal Farm, Rahim Khan, Amir's father's friend who calls Amir back to Afghanistan in the Kite Runner, and Mullah Fazula, Miriam's Quran teacher in A Thousand Splendid Suns. You might group those characters together because they all have life experiences and offer wisdom to help others have a better life. That's what they have in common. So you are going to figure out what these characters from different stories have in common and group them together. Now, here's the trick. For 4 minutes, you're going to do this silently. You're not going to talk about who goes where yet. You will have the opportunity to do that. But silently, you are going to try to put them in the right groups. And the silently part helps you to really think about things and then also question, which we know questioning is critical thinking, question why other people are doing what they're doing, okay? So the silently part is really important here to get your brain to work the right way during this part of the activity. All right, so here we go. Please pause now for 4 minutes. Okay, I hope you were silent. I hope you did what I asked. Now you're ready for step 4. And in step 4, now you get to talk to each other about the groups you've formed. And you're going to discuss and defend and move your notes around to form categories on which you all agree. Okay, so at this point, take just a few minutes and move them, get your categories or your piles solidified. And go ahead and pause now while they do this. Okay, now that your piles are all solidified, we're ready for step 5. All right, so step 5 is this. After you've named each group, think about how the characters in each group are connected. Once you've analyzed and recognized patterns and or commonalities, you're going to give each category a name. Okay, and so you have your piles, right, of your different groups of characters. Now you're going to take another slip of paper and you're going to write a name. You're going to call that category something, and then you're going to put that slip of paper right on top of that category. So for example, I might name the group with Benjamin, Rahim Khan, and Mullah Fazula something like Wise Mentors. Okay, so I'm going to name that group Wise Mentors. I might have another group with other characters that, maybe these are the oppressors of the stories, or they are I don't know, they want to hurt others, or they want to help others. Maybe they're characters who serve as helpers along the way, or as obstacles to the main goal of whoever the protagonist is. Whatever you think. But don't make the mistake of, for example, putting all of the main characters in one pile and naming it main characters. That's not going to help you at all with the activity that we're going to do tomorrow. You really have to figure out, what do these people have in common in the realm of human nature, okay? And you have to name it. You have to identify that and put that on that slip of paper. So go ahead and do that now, and you may pause now. Okay, so hopefully you have category names for your piles, and they are on top of the piles at this point. Now you're ready for step 6. In step 6, you're going to go to our calendar for today. Everybody's going to need their computers. One of you is going to go to our calendar for today. You're going to make a copy of the Affinity Mapping follow-up sheet, okay? And you are going to share it with your group and with me at hwenning@sacs.k12.in.us. You're going to fill in the first 2 columns with your category names. And then your homework, if you do not get that finished, is to finish filling in the first 2 columns. As a group, you can collaborate on how to get that done on Google Docs for tomorrow. So I'll give you an example of what this paper looks like and what that might look like in the first 2 columns. So here's the form that you will be making a copy of for your team and sharing with me. And if I were going to fill this out, first of all, I would put my group member names on here, and then I would start with the category names for the categories that we just named, and so those are the slips of paper that are on top of your pile of characters. So for example, just to carry on that previous example, maybe one of my category names is Wise Mentors. Okay, then I would make sure that I would include the characters that I was talking about. So remember, we in an earlier slide talked about Benjamin, we talked about Rahim Khan, we talked about Mula Fazula, and so I'm just going to take those characters, and those are the characters that go in my column right here. Maybe not. Right here. Okay, so those go in my columns. Now you don't have to have the descriptions there. If you don't want to, that's fine. You can just list the character names. And that's all you have to do. Then the same thing for here, whatever your next category is. You should have, 3, 4, 5, 6, you may have many categories, and that's great. The more you have, the more you'll have to work with your capstone. So go ahead and fill these in, and that's your work for today. You will, tomorrow, when you come in, work with this even more, and by the time I see you on Wednesday, you will be ready to get started on your capstone. So hopefully this was clear and you enjoyed the movement of the activity, and you understand that it is going to really help us as we move forward towards our capstone essay. Have a wonderful day, everyone. Thank you so much for your attention, and I'll see you on a video tomorrow.